Hey friends, welcome to Where's the Love podcast with your favorite multidisciplinary artist, your favorite millennial hippie, and your very favorite podcast host, Kloii Hummingbird. It is I, it is she, and it's also my birthday week. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, Scorpio season. Yes, Scorpio sun, you guys. I mean, of course, could it be anything different? I feel like I am a stereotypical Scorpio on the surface. And I have been like, Scorpio is like the sign of like change and transformation and the phoenix, right? That death and rebirth and that death and rebirth. And I feel like there's so many new beginnings for me afoot, like all the good things waited until Scorpio season, because if you've been keeping up, it's been one of the most traumatic years in my life, not with this ongoing genocide in Gaza that's happening, but also my mother died very unexpectedly, and there's some ongoing medical issues that, you know, we learned she died from a condition she was born with that I may have. So there's just a lot going on. And I've been unemployed for most of the year. As an artist, you know, here and there, you gotta take a part-time or full-time job to sustain you in between your artistic endeavors. So, and that's where I was at a lot of the year. But I just got a full-time receptionist job, which I'm so stoked on. It's super chill. Everyone's nice. It's that type of job where you can go and feel useful, but you ain't gonna take that stress home with you, which leaves me to be stressed out about my artistic endeavors like this podcast. I wanted this episode to get out like much sooner, but it is what it is. We're slow but steady. I'm trying to build consistency, like I said at the end of the last episode. But here we are, episode 2, trying my best. I want to get one out every week, but you know, we'll see what happens. So it may be bi-weekly. So we'll see. We'll look at the calendar after this. But it's my birthday week. I not only got a full-time job that I started last week, I also booked a modeling booking for a hotel chain, and I'm so excited. I had to drive to Portland, crazy, like an hour and a half one way each day for 3 days, which is crazy. And at one point I had to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, or like wake up at 5. I set the alarm for 4, but I actually got out of bed at 4:30 and like left around 5:15 to get there at like 7:15. It was crazy. But I was on time every single day, and I just feel good because it's the first booking as a model that I've had since this cop broke my nose. I'll do a story time on that later. But I obviously, for many reasons, I've been insecure about that. It's crooked, and certain days when it's hot, I can notice it swelling, and I can totally tell. And there's some days that like people I know that can't tell, but there's like, oh, I totally see it. So I guess in a sense I'm blessed that I wasn't fucked up more in the face when I was assaulted. But that has, you know, been in my head, and it's also the very first modeling gig that I've had since my mom died. So it just feels like, okay, new beginnings, new job, full-time, able to potentially get out of debt. I had to put a lot of money on my credit card to pay for this autopsy report for my mom. So just a lot has been happening that has been keeping me away. I had a great time, a great birthday week on set. And with my boyfriend, we did a bunch of cute stuff. And basically, I did everything I wanted to do. I just wanted to chill. I wanted to watch a movie. And I wanted to eat good. And my man cooked good for me. We watched good movies. And we got to snuggle with our dog. That's all I wanted, was some quality time and relaxation. So without further ado, let's get into some this and that. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube and find the audio versions on Spotify and Apple. I'm so excited about my booking, you guys. Apparently all the photos and stuff are supposed to come out on the website and maybe even in the hotel chain itself in 2.5 months. So I can't wait. They never send you the photos, which is so annoying. I have to like, stalk myself or stalk the business online to really find out anything. I did a national modeling campaign once. Were any of those photos sent to me? No, I had to like literally go into the store in like a mall and like film the walls like it's me, guys, like evidence. Like I'm a real model, I swear. BTW friends, I am deeply, deeply sorry to say that I will not be covering Love is Blind because Denver, you're boring. There ain't no love. Where's love? Not in Denver. Not in Denver, Colorado. Season 9 was the most boring season. Well, I can't even say there are seasons of Love is Blind where people got married that were actually more boring. So, T for the drama. They got a little bit of drama, which was worthy of watching. But if I was looking for love and wanting my heart to just melt out of my body, it ain't Love is Blind season 9, and therefore we will not be watching it. I watch every single episode, and if I only have non-nice things, then I ain't gonna say it. Sorry, it's my podcast. Maybe this will be the first and only time. Maybe it's a little disrespectful and unprofessional to not continue with Love is Blind, but literally nobody can pay me to finish this boring season where nobody found love on Love is Blind. I guess love is blind. You answered the question. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's get into some of this and that. I don't know. I'm thinking of changing the name of the segment of this and that. Like, it should be like, I don't know, something with like little love nuggets or something. Oh, that's cute. Oh my God. Did I just in real time change the name? Instead of calling it this and that, I'm going to be calling it This Is Our Love Nuggets segment. Hopefully I won't forget that, and I'll just like write that down for myself. Love Nuggets. Love Nugget segments, as known before as This and That. Here we go. The music world has spoken, and Monaleo is on the charts, baby. Yes, Monaleo. Apparently she's been out for a few years now, but I am just getting introduced to this pink queen, this Black American princess who just got married to Son of a Baby. Let me know in the comments if I'm saying his name wrong. I found out who he is through Monaleo's beautiful wedding. So I love her. I listened to her new album, Who Did the Body? And she has so many good songs on this album. I want to say the album has about 12 songs on it, and of those 12 songs, I think I like saved 10 of them. Like, it's like banger after banger after banger after banger. This 24-year-old Black American princess has gotten even more popular and has graced my timeline with her song Sexy Sulan, which is a song that has just been banging on my Spotify left and right. Sexy Sulan, Black American princess, probably posting in the crib like incense, lit bitch, like, yes, me, incense, candles. Is she talking to me? Am I her? Like, we are one right now. Yes. So I'm just like loving putting you down, putting you putting you down. If you know, you know. You just gotta just go straight up to Monaleo's page and just listen to all of her music. Another artist who I have, let's be honest, so many of our hearts have been stolen by this blonde beauty, Hilary Duff. She has come out with a new single called Mature after like 10 years of not making music. She has been married and she's a mama, and she has been on our screen as the child star from everything from Casper to Lizzie McGuire and beyond. She's recently made her debut back with acting with How I Met Your Father, and I love that show. I think it was canceled because it has not been back on my TV, and I think I remember researching this back in the day. It was canceled. That was about maybe a year ago, and now she's popped up with music, and honestly, this song is like one of her top 5 songs if you ask me. Her new album, Luck or something, releases February 20th of 2026. From today, that's about 88 days, 2 hours, and 53 minutes, and 0 seconds from now. She has this awesome countdown timer on her Spotify that maybe other artists do, but come on, I have been in a black hole the last few years, and I'm like crawling out of it, looking at civilization like, okay, what's cool? What's the new hot things out there? And I really like this song. I read in an article where Hilary Duff was interviewed by Vogue, and she talked about the song Mature being like an experience she had about a decade ago in her early 30s with a much older man who tends to date younger women who all look the same. I love the lyrics in this song, okay? The lyrics read, "She's me, I'm her in a different font, just a few years young, a new haircut. Very Leo of you with your Scorpio touch. Now. I love these lyrics. And so many women on TikTok and other social media platforms are really resonating with these lyrics about being younger and being groomed by a much older man. And some are saying even this song is the healing that they didn't even know that they needed. I even myself did a few TikTok videos singing the lyrics. Like I memorized the lyrics to the song at this point. It's really catchy. It's really fun. And Hilary Duff is even going on tour, which is super exciting for all the fun tour heads out there. Another little love nugget that I like to address is Ducktavious. I honestly did like a 12-minute video on my social media already. I think I posted it on my YouTube page, and definitely I did on my TikTok and Instagram page. I'll do a little segment of that for you to listen to right now because you have to hear and learn about Ducktavious. Maybe I'll play the whole clip. This just made me so annoyed this morning. Okay, so there's this black man, dreadlocks, heart of gold. Do I know him personally? No. Have I just spent like an hour and a half watching like every video he's ever posted on social media? Yes, so this is why I'm pissed. So there is this duck, right, that he named Ducktavious. It's his first day. He moved from Atlanta. The man, not the duck. The man moved from Atlanta to South Carolina, right? And his first day in South Carolina on Myrtle Beach, he's hanging with his homie by the river. This duck just comes up and like keeps following him, will not leave him alone. He's like, all right, Duck, do you want to come with me? The duck chose him, as far as I'm concerned. And so he's doing his duck thizzle, with this duck. They having a grand time. He's teaching a duck, because little baby duck, he feeding the duck, teaching the duck to swim, buying infrastructure, transformed his whole apartment so this duck can have a sanctuary. And he named it Ducktavious because, black people. So, and then he reaches out to like an animal sanctuary nearby or whatever to get some tea. And wooty woo, because he's like, at first is not really trying to keep the duck, but then the lady is like, no, he fell in love with the duck, and the lady's like, oh, you got to give this duck back. And he like, whatever, lady. Turns out that lady also is in charge of like DNR, which I think is like the Department of Natural Resources. Correct me if I'm wrong, internets. And they basically told him that's not actually a duck. That's a Canadian goose. And why is it in South Carolina? Because of their migration patterns. Turns out there is something called like the Migratory Canadian Act or something like that. Basically, if you see a bird, even if it's from Canada, you're not allowed to house it, feed it, freaking... Like, you're not basically supposed to interact with these things at all. But when they're babies, they look like ducks. So how am I supposed to know it's a duck from a Canadian goose? And, okay, also, it migrated to South Carolina. So it wants to be in South Carolina. Anyway, they saying it's a $10,000 fine for this man if he, doesn't give the duck to them. So he does, but it's so sad because the duck obviously, loves him. That's his ditty, you know what I mean? But, that's why I'm pissed. But anyway, $10,000 fine. He didn't want to do all that. He gave the duck back to the people. The duck was cool. The good news is there's a happy ending. Ducktavious, apparently, he reached out to the DNR, and apparently Ducktavious is at that age still where he can still adapt and learn all the ducky or goosey things that he needs to know to be self-sufficient adult goose in the world. So that's good. Ducktavious is free back in the wild, healthy and safe. But he doesn't have his faithful companion. I think his name is Rashad or something like that. The guy, the black man. But anyway, this black man was so like emotionally moved by like this experience with Ducktavious that he literally opened his own animal sanctuary. He has like three or four I think ducks that the animal sanctuary actually gave him, which is cute. And then he has ducks. He has chickens. He has a couple cats now. He's looking for a raccoon. He's literally legit opening his own like animal sanctuary. He moved out of his apartment. Like, this man has transformed his like whole life for these animals, and it's so cute. And he stopped smoking weed, and he's like becoming one with nature. And if you ask me, it's like black people are like seen to be in society the most removed from nature, but when we get in it, we are the most connected. You've been connected. Like the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees are like, you have arrived. And watching those videos just warmed my heart and broke my heart because I want him and Ducktavious to be together. But he has a Ducktavious Jr. and he has another duck he named Jamal because black people, and Jamal loves him. He like hops in his hand. I just needed to tell that story because I hate these wildlife laws. Yes, I know they're supposed to protect animals and protect endangered species, and not all humans are as great as Rashad. Not everybody's gonna see a duck, they're probably gonna eat it or try to kill it or make an animal fight or something. Humans can be so awful, but the ones who aren't should be able to keep little Ducktaviouses of the world. But, it kind of reminds me of that movie Rio. Like, I love the ending where he got to have the best of both worlds. He got to, stay with his, he's human, but he also got to, frolic and be doing the thug thizzle in Brazil, So, shout out to Ducktavious, wherever you are. And if you find this Ducktavious Rashad's account, donate to him because he literally is legit opening an animal sanctuary, and he's trying to get a raccoon, y'all. He wants to get all the little babies and bring them to life, make them all healthykins, and then he wants to sell them to loving families. Thank you, random algorithm, for bringing that into my feed on this glorious Sunday. Oh my God, isn't that cute? I will tag that creator in the description box so you can support all his efforts with helping these animals and placing them in beautiful, beautiful homes and sanctuaries. That is it with my love nugget of the day. Now we're on to our main chickadee chat. That's what I called it, my first episode. But now that we have love nuggets on Where's the Love podcast, should I call the main chickadee chat section something else that has a little bit more loving? You know what I mean? Nothing's coming to mind right away. Let's see. We got our main chickadee chat. Love nuggets. How about we call our main chickadee chat, I love that. All right, this is the I love that section. But what if we're talking about something one day that I don't love? That's kind of negative. I don't want to be talking about war and genocide. I'm this is the I love that section. I don't know. We'll work on it. For right now, it's the main chickadee chat, or my main combo of the day. I don't know if y'all heard about this baby formula experiment online. It has swept the nation and literally has gone international at this point. This experiment started with a woman named Nikalie Monroe. She works with people who are trying to get sober and restart their lives, and just working with working with people who are in drug recovery. One day, because of the work that she's done, she was so fed up that these churches sending people away and her clients away for help that she went on social media and she was I am going to call these churches and choose the saddest thing. I'm going to pretend I have a crying, starving baby or something. And she literally gets a little crying baby box to exacerbate this situation, so they can know this is real, even though it's not real. You know what I mean? And she just wants to see what they will say. And after they say yes or no, she lets them know this is just a social experiment. We want to see what churches are all about, what their protocols are, and if all other systems are down in our government, will the churches step up to help? This woman called nearly 30 to 40 churches, and 9 said yes. That was Our Lady of Fatima, a Catholic church in Alcoa, Tennessee, ALCOA. I hope I'm saying that right, Alcoa, Tennessee. Jefferson, Kentucky has the first Baptist church, Jeffersontown. And they actually, on their website, they say that they're the first historic Black church serving the community since 1828. The woman on the phone said, let God have all the glory to it, when she realized it was, just not a real thing. It was just an experiment, and she was happy she kind of passed nonetheless. The third person on the list, or church on the list, is Heritage Hope Church of God. They are in Somerset, Kentucky. All of these are Southern churches, by the way. Our Lady of the Hills is a Catholic church in South Carolina. I did not get the city there. And the fifth church is Islamic Center of Charlotte, which has gotten nearly like $100,000 in donations at this point from people just pouring love into them, because even some of the churches who said yes on the list, they tried to send people, like when she called, they're like, have you tried the food bank? Have you tried this and that? Each church tried to send her to other avenues, even the one that said yes. But this ICC, this Islamic church, Islamic Center of Charlotte, they were like, yes, ma'am, what do you need? Like, that was the second thing out of their mouth, and you're basically after hello. And that is so beautiful. And it's so funny to me, because I was talking to a friend of mine, an Arab friend of mine, and he was saying you probably wouldn't know he's Arab unless you kind of talk to him, knew his name, or ask him about his background. He's white passing, as they say. He says when he moved to America, people assumed he was white, and it was just easier to let them go with that and to assimilate and not wear his keffiyeh. And now, in a post-October 7th world, how he is yearning to stand his power more. He threw the keffiyeh on with pride. And, I share with him, it's really fascinating because of the little things I know of Arab people, or Arab people weren't really in my life, in my neighborhood growing up, that you can really develop this xenophobia and this othering of a certain group of people. And it wasn't until I got older that I'm like, oh, I didn't realize, like, I am othering that person because they have a big beard or they're wearing a hijab, which I don't understand. And how we allow the propaganda of our government or of society to seep within our vessel. And we were just sharing that with each other, how we felt a little bit, how he felt ashamed that he allowed himself to be forced into assimilation. And I was sharing my shame around how I, in a sense, was so unaware growing up of my xenophobia as a child, because I was a child during the 9/11 and post 9/11 world. And so with that awareness comes thinking deeper truths like, is everything they said about the Muslim faith like also correct? And it just invokes a deeper conversation. So that makes me happy. The sixth on the list is the Juan Buddhist Temple of North Carolina. That's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And Portico Story, which is actually a pro-life pregnancy center. But they said, they're not just the pro-life institutions that will be like, oh, we're pro-life until your baby is here, and they don't help your baby whatsoever. So that's really awesome. That they provide a ton of other services. So although I am pro-choice myself, and in that regard, I really respect how they kind of operate and do their business. Linden Church of Christ in Linden, Tennessee. And last on the list is Storyside Church in Belleville, Ohio. They asked where she's located, and if she can be there by 1 p.m., they'd be able to help her. I love this. There is a church I want to highlight on here. It's the Heritage Hope Church of God. I think all of these churches have been getting blessings, donations, but last I checked, the Heritage Hope Church of God has got $90,000 worth in donations. They are, the people have been calling him our favorite Appalachian grandpa. He is in a community of about 100 people in Somerset, Kentucky. There's people who come to his church, and he answered the phone, literally is quoted saying, what flavor do you want of baby formula? And I want to share a little clip of that, what I said on my TikTok right here. So I saw a video today of everybody's favorite Appalachian grandpa. I think it was on Nikalie's page in church, and he said he was so happy that God put the right words in his mouth at the right time, because he said like he wasn't really feeling it that day. He was kind of having a day, and he didn't really feel like it, quite frankly, but he was gonna do it anyway. And that's so awesome, because how many times do we not feel like it in society and in life every day? Like, the price of community is inconvenience. Sometimes we have to inconvenience ourselves to be there for each other, to take this extra step, to think about the thing that's not in the rule book, but to do it because it's the right thing, the empathetic thing, the just rational thing to do as human beings. Like, just that, I was like, it doesn't always feel like the perfect moment where you had a great night of sleep and you're stretching and like you're not feeling creaky in your body and you didn't fight with your spouse. Like, sometimes it's like the day that you're not feeling so well, that you can literally be a source for others. And for me, like, I guess I'm a little biased as a yoga teacher, because like helping others and like being an activist, and like it feels good knowing that I'm doing something that helps somebody on an individual or institutional or societal level. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. Now, without further ado, I actually got the honor and privilege of interviewing Nikalie. She is my very first interview hostee ever. And I'm really excited to have done this. After doing it, right, it's my very first time. I felt like there were so many good questions and good things that we hit on that I didn't even know before. Like, I didn't know prior to this interview that she, was a drug and addiction counselor, and she had sent, a lot of her patients, her clients, to churches that turned them away. So this actually came from her professional life. That's awesome. We got to talk a little bit about how she is not atheist, but she is a spiritual person who has pivoted away from the church because of other hypocrisies, but she has had such loving and kindnesses from the church as well. So she sees all sides of the situation. And I resonate with that as well. I feel like I'm spiritual, although not religious. I would go to a church, any church, if I feel like there wasn't such hypocrisy built into and exploitations built into these institutions that don't feel so loving and really feel like icky and dark. But I do think that there are some great metaphors and life lessons to learn from these scriptures of all the denominations, but like, I can't see myself going to an actual church right now. Even as a yoga teacher, there's so much hypocrisy. Like, they actually breed you as a teacher to not talk about spirit and truth and heart, just to focus on the fitness. Like, they say that in a way without saying that. And it's really disheartening. And it was really disheartening to see so many of those churches turn her down and say no. Some of the churches who kind of were on the naughty list, who said no to her. Some people called her demonic. There's even one church that a lot of things has come out about their financial fraud. So, and conversely, some churches are being so blessed financially. And it's beautiful. I feel like this experiment did exactly what it needed to do. Another thing that I wish I dived deeper into, she said that her children are biracial, but she is white. I would have loved to just go deeper on that. That's been a cultural conversation the past few years, being a white mom of biracial children, and what that means, energetically in the world, what that means socially in the world, what that means, what kind of mentality those children tend to have, and how she as a white mom can sort of help combat those stereotypes. We also talked a lot about her future projects coming up that I super want you all to know about, and that you can spread the word and support her or even be involved. She's starting an organization to sort of help people. And if you want to be a part of that, sort of adopt a family, if you will, during these hard times, I urge you to follow her page, which she will share with you at the end of this podcast. And just to learn more about how you can be involved to help people. Also, I do want to say this podcast was so hard to edit. There was an echo, and it's my first interview, and I had to like watch all these YouTube videos of what's the best like interview hosting platform, and then like learn how to use that hosting platform. And it was just so much. In less than 24 hours, we scheduled and recorded and did the interview. So I just hope you guys enjoy it. We are here with my very first podcast guest ever, Nikalie Monroe. You may know her from this week going super viral on not only TikTok, but I've seen you on news. I've seen you all over other people's social media. You've gone like worldwide at this point. And I think we just made the right person famous. Nikalie is a Southern woman, a mom, a veteran, and an empathetic human, here to not only share her story, but also to share what's next. Tell us all about you, Nikalie.
Yeah, so of course you already listed the basic stuff, but we are trying. So I put out kind of like what my goals were. And then I had a bunch of people that was like, I can help you with a website. I can help do this. So we're doing 2 different things right now. The main one is like countrywide, is like a adoptive family type thing where you go on and you can help either individuals or families. You choose. There's no fees to donate to them. So it's not like a GoFundMe. Everything is free, and you donate directly to that person. So you know where your donations are going. You can adopt that family for the whole year, or you can donate to them just once. Even if you adopt a family, people can still go in and donate to them. So it doesn't, stop any donations that are coming in. And then another thing that we're doing is called Ties That Change. So we're actually getting ambassadors for every state that will work directly with us. And then they'll have people that work underneath them to make sure that everybody's getting coats and food and just like anything that they need in those states. So that way we can directly impact every state.
So this is a statewide mission, like a national mission, not just, is it Kentucky that you're in?
It's everywhere. Yeah.
And for people who may not know about this viral moment, we're calling it the baby formula church experiment, where Nikalie went around and to call different churches with the thesis or the ethos of, hi, I have a baby that's hungry. It's 2 months old. And for whatever reason, we haven't been able to feed it. And a list of about 30 to 40 churches on that list, about 9 said yes, and gave their various reasons for yeses. I took a list. I did my own little separate video of that because my heart was just pulled to the story. I think it's, I saw a video that you said, I chose this because it was just the top of my head. Like, who could say no to a baby? Yeah. Before we get deeper into everything that you're doing next and all the missions that you have, I know you have a book that you wrote in July. I want to kind of go back into the story to hear about you. And I think that so many people are waiting for somebody to give them permission to do something good or do something like this to bring awareness or help people. And I know that doesn't just spark necessarily overnight. I think though that's many different steps that got you to be like the sort of heart leader that you are now. So for you, in your mind, can you take us to little nuggets in your life that made you become brave enough to do something like this, to speak out?
Okay, well, first of all, I grew up really, really poor, so I know what it's like to be in a family that struggles to put food on the table and pay the bills and do all of that. So, that's where a lot of it comes from. I was also an SA victim. That part of things also changed a lot because when I was younger, I was silent. I didn't speak up, and so I just refused to be like that now as an adult. And then when I was younger, I was probably like 12 or 13, we went on a family vacation, and there was a guy that was unhoused that was walking around. And it's the only moment that I have where my dad was nice, but he went and bought him food. And then it just moved me. I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that if I see somebody in need or they're hungry, I'm going to feed them. So that started when I was really young. And yeah, just as I was growing up, I just always wanted to help everybody.
I see when you talk about just helping people, like your face lights up. That's actually something that drew me to wanting to talk to you, because when you made the calls and they were like the good calls and you got people that said yes, you hung up, and I just saw your face beaming with such light. And when you say that you're an empathetic human, it's literally visceral. Like I can see it coming out of you. Can you tell us more about your experience with the church? You said that you were spiritual, right?
Spiritual, yes.
I resonate in the same regard. I have sort of a background in Baptist church with my upbringing, but I resonate with being more spiritual. But I have called myself atheist in the past. She's not atheist, guys. I projected that onto her.
I'm not atheist. No,
Continue.
I respect all religions. Just me personally, I just don't like what the Bible teaches as far as like the negative things that are in it. And then a lot of people use the Bible to flip it to spread hate. So I just prefer not to base myself on it. But yeah, I am very spiritual. I believe in helping everybody. I believe in doing good. And I just don't want to judge people based on what they believe, or like, not respect somebody else's religion because I'm like, oh, my religion's better. So I just choose to be spiritual just for my own beliefs. I've never had any issues with church. I've seen a lot of people saying that. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate churches. Like, no, I respect all religions, all beliefs. As long as people are happy and they're spreading love, that's all I care about.
I think that for me, I actually crave to go to church. Like I would love that if I didn't know and feel that sense of hypocrisy and that sense of just sort of that the business overcomes the like basics of helping a human that's right in front of you. Like I've always sort of battled with that. So although I'm not in the church, I do want to find my own sense of home in a church one day, whatever denomination that is, to a place that just feels like the safe space.
Yeah. Now, I've been to a lot of churches that are really great. Actually, the one I was going to go to today, the Jeffersontown, I watched their service last weekend. I would totally hands down go to that church every Sunday, just because like you can tell like the people there are true in what they preach. And yes, the one that's in Louisville, Kentucky. Their serving last week was great. I watched it online and I was like, oh, like it was amazing.
The one in the call when the lady was like, "Let the glory be to God." I'm like, I took notes. I'm like, am I mistaken?
Yeah.
I was pressing a button earlier, so I was in the middle of something when you did. Just to piggyback on that, I didn't want to bypass that very human moment, that very vulnerable moment you shared about your assault. I was like literally pressing something while you were talking, but I don't want to pass by that, hashtag me too. And that sucks that we live in a world where that's so prevalent, but it's even you being so brave in front of us all saying that, like, it's something we can just like bypass, but I'm sure it took so much work to even be able to say that so easily and openly.
No, honestly, I feel like speaking about it helps a lot of people. I've been able to talk about it and heal from it, and, just let people know that they can have that same voice. You got to work for it.
You're so sweet, Nikalie. Such a sweetheart. Just feel your heart. Tell us about, before we go back and more into like what drove you to do this experiment. You already told us a little bit more about that, but I want to hear even more. But I know that you're a mom. So it's a mom did the baby formula experiment. If you guys didn't know, she's actually a mom.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like, she's not a mom. I am.
I don't have a boys too. They're so cute, little curly hair.
Thank you.
I would love to hear about anything of your mom journey that you want us to share as it relates to this experiment, or anything, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was a teen mom, so I actually got pregnant with my daughter when I was 16, had her when I was 17. So I was one of those moms that was struggling to afford. I wasn't even working. I was in school. I was still in high school. So for me, like every single time I got a no, I was just like, oh, like that's somebody's potential real baby out there getting told no. Like people are like, it's just an experiment. I was like, but this is what would happen. Like that's a real baby. That last Friday that I did, I was like, this is the last one because it was depressing. That's the reason why I got so excited every time I heard a yes. I was like, yes, thankfully.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's sad. We all did. We were here cheering with you. We're like, we got a yes. We were your cheerleaders, like, do it again.
Yeah, I do believe that every church should say yes, hands down. But, it is what it is. I hope it was a learning experience for all of them.
What do you think about all the people that are making excuses for the churches? Like, different sizes of churches. And some people are saying they only have this much their cup to give. And that has to be, to pay people and the flight bill, etc. versus, having like crumbs left to actually give the congregation.
Yeah.
Or that's just one of many things that I'm hearing.
Yeah. So one of the churches that did offer to help was a small church, and I wouldn't have put
our
them
favorite
as saying
Appalachian
no.
Pawpaw. If you
Yeah,
know.
I wouldn't have said that they said no if they would have been like, hey, let me get the pastor on the phone with you, and at least I would have been able to talk to him. One church did do that, and he still turned me down. But if they would have attempted to try and be like, okay, we're going to call around, we're going to do what we can, I would have understood that. It was the fact that wasn't even an option with most of them. They were just flat out like, no, can't help. Sorry. Have a good day. And I was like, my baby's starving. What do you mean have a good day? So.
And even some of the, ones who are like, oh, this seems to be the protocol. Go to a pantry, go to this. It's like, have you call with me? Call with, what I mean? I wonder if that would have ever been and not like, oh, no, I haven't. Oh, okay, let me give you their number. Obviously that wasn't part of the experiment. We wanted them to buckle down, but I just wonder in an alternate world, if you would have been like, oh, yes, I have not called that pantry. What do you, how many people are they sending away? How much will you have to fucking muster to ask for help once? That could have been like, I'm sorry, baby. We just ain't got it today after that, or something, because pride and shame, I don't even want to say pride, because this world breeds shame, which breeds pride. So I think shame is just something that is so deeply ingrained in the American experience and the capitalistic experience that it really pisses me off. And I had a question there, but I got so angry that I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I just feel like here nobody should be without housing or food. No exceptions.
Yeah, well said. What do you think people are getting wrong about you?
A lot of people think I did it to attack churches, and that's not what it was. It's just like I have patients that I personally send to churches all the time to get help, and they get turned away. But this was to test people's empathy and compassion, and really just to see if churches would actually help somebody. If all resources are gone, are you going to be able to step up and help somebody in need? And
is that why churches specifically like that spark of idea, like this is churches, is because of your patience and what you've seen specifically, or were you just like,
yeah, I mean, it was just a random thing. It's like, I'm just going to call up churches tomorrow and see if they'll help. Yeah. And then I was just like, well, an adult, they probably won't help. They probably won't see any need. But I was like, a baby with formula, because a lot of pantries don't have formula because it's so expensive. So I was like, and a baby being hungry, I was like, they can't say no to that.
So I actually didn't know that it was, she didn't just wake up one day and just be like, I'm going to attack churches. This is actually from her lived experience, from her professional work, that like she's seen the pain and the people coming back like, no, that church didn't help me. I love that when you put it on a freaking bumper sticker, when all resources are gone, are you able to step up? And like, I feel like, can we just go back to the basics of what a church is supposed to be? When you see somebody in need, they walk in, help them. I saw somebody on TikTok, they said, they would have turned away Mary and Joseph.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
I was just like, wow. Yeah. Some of the pastors, like even responses back has everybody in shock on TikTok. I'm just like, wow, it's crazy what they're even saying. But
oh, I don't even know, the craziest thing, the most cray thing in this, it has been, oh my goodness, what are they called? But there has been a lot of scandal that's been coming out about that. I don't know the facts, so I won't put that up here.
The Germantown one.
It's Germantown.
Yeah.
Germantown Church. I'm not going to throw out the details. Y'all can look that up yourself because I don't know them all to really say them here. But it looks like there's been some interesting financial things.
Yeah.
But conversely, the churches that said yes, they are being so blessed and like, I can't cry because I put my pretty makeup on, but I am a emotional Scorpio water sign. So I cry every day, all the time. I love that they are getting blessed. That's how I freaking want the world to be. Like, take away, like, boycott, mission, activate, take away all this money from these people and these corporations that are hurting us and that should not exist, and give it to these organizations and entities that are actually like trying. I love just being in the 21st century where we have access to that knowledge, where we can be like, no, fuck you. I don't want to have any part of you. And like, hey, Appalachian Papa, hey, what's your Venmo? Like, I love that. My podcast is called Where's the Love? And one, because I'm a yoga teacher. Two, because I'm obsessed with reality TV dating shows. And so it just made sense all around. I want to ask you that question. Where's the love in the world? In your life? Are you in a relationship with somebody? And just what lights you up? Whatever. I'm giving you different sort of categories here. So pick one that makes sense for your brain to help you out. Where's the love?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people have lost a lot of compassion and empathy. I think recently we see that very clearly with this administration, and I don't want to talk politics, but we see it a lot.
We can definitely 1000% if you want. We don't have to shy away from politics here. Spit it out.
Yeah, I just feel like so to me, I'm like, even with church, if you all want to try to combine church and state, like I feel like they're doing, why would you not want to take care of people? Because wasn't Jesus also an immigrant? Wasn't he also going home to home and waiting on people to help him and feed him and all these things? So I'm just like, if this is what you believe, why are you attacking people that are just trying to live their life and aren't doing anything wrong? So like, it's very disheartening to see what's going on. Like, I mean, even the priest that got shot by ICE, like with the little whatever they were shooting at him, and then they went and pepper sprayed him in the eyes, and they pulled another priest out of the crowd. Like, I'm just like, you all are seeing this and you still support them. So it's crazy to me.
I've seen horrific videos. Just 2 days ago, there was a man in a car holding his baby, while like ICE is tasering him, and he's having a seizure.
That whole video. I get so mad. Oh my God.
Where is our humanity? And then people literally were so freaking indoctrinated, so colonized in our minds, where we will be like, that person has a badge. Like, oh, it's okay if that man just got, shot in the head. He had a badge. It makes sense. Like,
yeah. And I'm just like, it is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I made a video on my TikTok page, about how a lot of these churches are essentially like say, let the baby starve. Our benevolence is for our own people, etc.
Yeah.
And I equated that to how these churches feel about Palestine, because, we know statistically speaking, like the majority of Palestine, the population's under 18 years old. It's a very young population. And thus we're letting these babies die. And, just another way to just say how everything is connected from your local church to an international level. These systems are all connected.
Yeah.
Are you white?
Yeah.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
I never want to assume in these day and age.
Oh no, yeah,
you know?
no, I'm the same way.
And
But yeah,
why not? That's the controversial question of the day. Are you white? And you
No, I'd rather ask than not know, like, and say the wrong thing or just assume. Yeah,
right
no,
on.
yeah, I am. Yeah,
I did
my
another
boys are
video
biracial,
and
but
my provocative hook was like, so this white girl Nikalie. And then afterwards I was like, I should fact check. I don't know this bio here. What kind
yeah,
of
I've seen somebody that call me. They're like, "Of course, all the churches are going to say yes to a white girl." I was like, "They all said no, almost. What do you mean?"
Yes, and they don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you could have been Southern in anything for all I know. I know Southern black women who sound like you, what kind of white are you? Are you aware? If you're...
I'm not really... I know some of them came from Ireland. That's all I know. I don't really know. I know we got some Native American and some Ireland. I'm not really sure what else.
I did a DNA test and my family, everybody, we all want to be so Native. And my mom, she was like, we're Native, I swear. And we weren't. And I was like, I told you so, Felice. But, shout out
I don't know. I might have to
them.
do one now. Like, I don't know. That's just always what I said I might have to do one now. That's all I know.
I mean, you
like, maybe some German too. I don't want to claim German. Maybe not.
You can't deny it if it's in there. Let us know. Come back. Maybe I don't know, for 6 months from now after the book is out and all the things. You'll come back.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I've been to Germany. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love that. And on that note, that's the last question I have on my list here. What do you have next going on? We already said it in the beginning, but please reiterate it. A program that she is popping off to help people and also a book. Tell the people.
Well, the book has already been out. I put the book out in June or July. That one is just a self-help book on how to leave a narcissist and heal from one. But I'm actually working on a 5-series novel now. So that's my current project. Yeah, it's about
writer.
It's totally different than the self-help book.
How did writing come about? I love that.
I've always wanted to write. So I used to do poetry a lot, but then I always wanted to write. And then now, since I'm in school and I just have a little bit extra free time, I've just been putting it into my books.
I love that. I encourage you to share your poetry on TikTok, but I cut you off.
No.
Continue. Tell us the book. It already came out in July. Y'all cut her off. I'm sorry. I'm such a cutter offer.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one,
How to Leave a Narcissist.
The Bridge of Light one, I found out there's another place called Bridge of Light. So it's actually going to be the Nikalie Monroe movement Bridge of Light. So that way it's not the main name of it. But yeah, that one will be coming soon. So they're already building the website for it. So I've already seen some of it. We're just working out the rest of the details on it. And then I personally will be opening up a sober living house in my area to try to help some of our homeless population here and those struggling with addiction.
Multidisciplinary creator over here. Everything you do is bridged in intention and rooted in heart. And I just love that. I love being real, seeing real loving humans in the world. Let's make the right people famous. Literally. Am I missing something?
Yeah. So the name is
movement.
Yeah.
We have our book, How to Leave a Narcissist. And there's another book.
It was a 5-series book. There's 5 books in a series. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And she is doing the thing at her house. So I'm in her house.
Yeah.
And she is doing the project in her hometown to get amazing people housed to just give them another chance at life. And I love that. Can you please share your everything? How can the people find you, your website and social?
So pretty much everything is under Nikalie Monroe. So my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok. I did just start a Threads and a YouTube. I've never used either one of those before. So I do have those now as well. So
I love it. I'll follow you on YouTube as well. YouTube is my place. I have a TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, but I'm slowly but surely getting all of my attention stolen by YouTube. So you definitely should. Yeah. People want to see your horizontal life, what you got, your thoughts, your long form thoughts when you have going on. I definitely do. I'll keep in tune.
Well,
so everybody, please follow Nikalie.
I will check out your stuff too. And you're
Oh,
so
snap.
sweet.
She followed me, you guys. When she followed me, I was like, oh my gosh, I am so popular. I'm the coolest girl in school. I gotta have her on. Like, yes, real people doing real things to help the world is like all I want to be talking about. I don't want to take up any more of Nikalie's time right now. She's got all these things to get into and beautiful babies to attend to. Thank you so much, Nikalie.
Oh, that was such a good interview. I actually showed up to the interview a few minutes late because I was just nervous and learning how to like use Riverside, the interview hosting platform that I was using. So because I showed up a few minutes late, I was sort of like, I felt like I rushed her off the phone, at the end after we stopped recording. I feel like she wanted to chit chat. I was like, okay, thank you, bye. So I think in the future interviews, I'll be a little bit more relaxed and maybe not show up late. I just wanted to honor her time, which is why I rushed her a little bit. But I really hope that you follow her page, support her projects, or even potentially start similar projects that you think can help your community. I'm of the essence that we cannot rely on our government. We should be able to, but the imperialism has its own agenda, and that agenda rarely involves helping and being there for the people. So the people, that's us. We have to help each other. Next episode, we'll be talking about the last season of Stranger Things. Stranger Things Season 5 comes out on November 26th, the day before Thanksgiving in 2025, friends. I have been watching this show from the very beginning. The Duffer Brothers are such inspirations to me as a writer, as a sci-fi fantasy writer, and as people who take a long time to develop their stories. I super resonate with their brain, and this story that lives rent-free in all of our hearts is coming to a close by the end of the year. November 26th, it will be the first 4 episodes of the final season. And me and my dear cousin, who is in the mental health field, V, she and I will be talking about our impressions of our favorite characters, specifically diving into season 3 and talking about what's next for the Stranger Things universe. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends, okay? See you next week.